You're listening to the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network, home of the #1 sports talk show on the planet, The Doug Stewart Show.
This is a revolution in radio, the realest, trillest sports talk show in America, The Doug Stewart Show.
Broadcasting live Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to noon Eastern Time, exclusively on the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network.
This is sports talk for the people.
Follow Stewart Media and Entertainment right now on Facebook to stay connected and locked in for upcoming events like the Couples and Cocktail Series, viewing parties, and much, much more. Up next, get ready to ride raw with the Doug Stewart Show.
This is sports talk with hot sauce, Texas Pete hot sauce, the Doug Stewart Show.
Exclusively on the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network.
Yes! Fantasy sports fans are winning huge cash prizes every day at DraftKings.com, America's favorite place to play daily fantasy sports. Daily fantasy means no season-long commitments. Play whenever you want. Just pick your sport and draft your team. It's like a new season every time you play, so you're never stuck with the same players. Last year, $300 million were won at DraftKings.com, and you could be next to win big. Go to DraftKings.com now and enter promo code STEW to play for free. That's STEW for free entry now at DraftKings.com. Also, if you use promo code STEW, DraftKings will match your initial deposit up to $600. Deposit $600, play with $1,200. DraftKings.com, promo code STEW.
At Ticket Liquidator, we believe you should have access to the experiences you want to be a part of. Since 2003, Ticket Liquidator has been connecting buyers and sellers with the most sought-after and often sold-out events across the country. Ticket Liquidator's nationwide network gives you access to one of the largest online inventories of sports, theater, and concert tickets, with prices lower than most companies in other markets. And our security policies are solid, so you can buy with absolute confidence. More tickets, better service, and lower prices, so you can witness the best entertainment, culture, and sports events worldwide. At Ticket Liquidator, we know that seeing a legend bring down the house or watching your team win the championship is about more than a ticket. It's about being there. For all your sports and entertainment ticket needs, call us at 855-638-3034. Again, that's 855-638-3034.
Doctor, this is the mayor talking.
All right.
Doctor,
Come on, what?
always do the right thing.
If you came here to hear for fake, you are in the wrong place. We are for real around here. We keeps it real. This is the Doug Stewart Show, the livest, the realest, the trillest sports talk show in America. Are you not entertained? This is Sports Talk with Hot Sauce, Texas Pete Hot Sauce, the Doug Stewart Show. Yes! Game time. Yes, sir! What's happening? Welcome to the Doug Stewart Show. And it's a Wild Out Wednesday. Ooh, we're going to get wild. Ooh, yeah. Ooh, yeah. The Macho Man and the Doug Stewart Show going to get really, really wild. Ooh, yeah. Yeah, thank you so much for joining me today on the Doug Stewart Show. Bring it back one more time. No, bring it back. Woo! Yes, sir. Oh, boy. Hey, happy Wednesday to you. Once again, this is a Wild Out Wednesday. Thank you so much for joining me on the Doug Stewart Show. August 26, 2015. August 26, 2015. Now, today is a huge day, and thank you for tuning in to the Doug Stewart Show. Shouts out to all of the Stewies. Shouts out to all the new listeners to the Doug Stewart Show and the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network. Shouts out to y'all, man. Trust me, if you're new We have a great time around here, Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. Eastern Time. Doug Stewart, one half of the world famous, and I did say world famous, Two Live Stews. This is what we do. We talk sports, guy talk, entertainment, but we do it like nobody else. I mean, we do it like nobody else, so thank you. You need to follow the show on Spreaker.com. Hit the little follow button on Spreaker so whenever the show goes live, whenever another show broadcasts on the network, you'll be alerted, and then you can check it out. You can tune in at that time. You know, once in a while we may have to change the times of the show for whatever reason, and we've only done that, 3 times in the past 12 months. So we don't do it a lot, but follow the show on Spreaker.com and then hit the little chat button, and then you enter into a whole new world of sports and guy chat. I call it the fantasy island of sports chat, and its inhabitants are the Stewies. Shouts out to the Stewies. Yes, sir. All right, so today is a very significant day for Stewart Media and Entertainment, home of the Doug Stewart Show. Today is a very significant day. One, in my life, in my personal life, today is my 20-year anniversary with my wife, being married. That's right. So I know she's listening right now. I know she's listening right now. Happy anniversary, man. I mean, 20 years. I mean, we still together. We still together. I might even sing a little bit of Tony for you a little bit later today, man. For my wife, happy anniversary to my wife, Monica Stewart, man. A great 20 years, fantastic 20 years. Some downs, but a lot of ups, man. Daddy love you. Daddy love you. I do. I really do. Also, another significant reason that we're celebrating today on the Doug Stewart Show on the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network. Today, we are going to broadcast our first new show to the network. That's right. That's been the whole goal from the beginning, is not just to air my show, the Doug Stewart Show, which is the anchor of the network, obviously, but to air other shows that kind of, are good material, good product that we can get out there to the masses. The platform on Spreaker and the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network allows us to do that. We have over 8,000, close to 9. We might be at 9,000 followers to the network already. Over 200,000 listen. So the benefit is that if you air your show or if you do your show on this network, you have a built-in audience that are going to give you a chance. You're going to at least get a chance. And so you don't start out broadcasting your show to just like 2 or 3 people, your mama and your cousin and your brother and them. We have a built-in audience, a built-in following on the network. So if you want to get more information about that, go to Fiverr.com and just search the Doug Stewart Show, and you'll see all the gigs that we have available. And one of them is to broadcast your podcast, your show on the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network. So today at 2 p.m., we're going to air Family, which is another beautiful thing. We are airing Family today on the network, the Kicking It with Kesey show at 2 p.m. today. Yes, Lord. And I say family for new people that are out there listening to the show. I say family because Kesey, the guy that hosts the show, Kesey, he's actually a listener to the Doug Stewart Show, big-time supporter, loyal fan, and loves independent radio. And so we're airing his show today at 2 p.m., and it's actually an interview that he did, and I'll tell you more about it throughout today's show. It's an interview that he did. The show is only 30 minutes long, but that's fine. You got to start somewhere. You got to crawl before you walk. You got to walk before you crawl. But this episode is actually, he's doing an interview, and I'll tell you more about it as we go through the show once again. But today at 2 p.m., be on alert and check out the Kicking It with Kesey show coming up at 2 p.m., all right? We got other shows that we are lining up as well. A couple of other shows are on the horizon that we'll be broadcasting in the next couple of days and weeks. So stay tuned, man, and thank you for all the support for the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network. as well as the Doug Stewart Show. Yes, Tree. Tree, you wanted to say something?
Good morning.
Good morning. And for new listeners, this is the voice you hear is Tree, the producer to the Doug Stewart Show.
How art thou?
I'm great. I'm fantastic. How art you?
I am well. I have some kicking it with Kesey history. It's funny. You might not remember, but so he was here from the beginning.
Right.
And, I had that little bulldog thing. And do you remember I kicked him out of the chat for promoting?
Yes. Ninja, you can't just come on here and promote. Yeah, I remember that.
It was like the first week.
Right.
And I kicked him out, but he didn't act like a baby about it.
Right.
And he inboxed me, and he was like, "Oh, I'm sorry." And so we are excited for Kesey.
Yeah, there's a protocol of this, man. I mean, you just can't just go in and start trying to house people's stuff. I mean, it's like you coming into my house and not wiping the door. You're trying to promote your stuff, but hey, it's all good, man. It's all love. Once again, a supporter from the very beginning, and today he gets this opportunity to have his voice and his show heard among thousands and thousands of followers to the Doug Stewart Show. So that's a blessing. Praise God. Praise God. 2 p.m. Stay tuned for that. All right. The number to the show is 404-382-0338. You can also email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. A lot of great stuff to get into today. We're going to talk about MV7 getting another shot at greatness. Not really, but kind of, sort of. More retribution, all of that. Obviously, you've heard about that, but we'll talk about it a little bit more. Quarterback hate. Speaking of Mike Vick and quarterbacks, there's the quarterback hate in the NFL is real thick. It's real thick. We'll talk about that. For 2 days, for the past 2 shows, I've been trying to get into the conversation about Steve Sarkisian, the head coach of the USC Trojans, and the trouble that he found himself in. I will do it today, so we'll talk about that. The Williams sisters, and Serena Williams in particular, man, their story is incredible. You know their story. But there's an article, that was written in the New York Times about Serena and her upbringing and how she rose to stardom in the tennis world. Very deep stuff, man. It's a very interesting insert in the story that I want to kind of discuss, man. People kind of forget, where Serena and Venus came from and the hard upbringing and the fact that they're involved in a sport that's kind of like a country club type sport and culture. And so very interesting stuff about Serena Williams. We'll talk about that a little bit later today. Russell Wilson and Sierra. I didn't even know this. But there's some new news on Russell Wilson and Sierra that Tree hit me to. We'll talk about that. And speaking of Serena and Drake? Huh? Drake ain't ready for all of that. He ain't ready for all of that. But we'll have some fun with that a little bit later today as well. We'll break down the Buffalo Bills for our preseason football reports, and we'll do birthdays as well. Yeah, we have all those type of fun things that we do on the Doug Stewart Show. So stay tuned, all right? 404-382-0338. This is the number to the show. You can also email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Sports talk, guy talk with hot sauce. When we get back, MV7 is back, you bitches. Stay tuned. The Doug Stewart Show. First of all, thank you for listening to the Doug Stewart Show. Now, if you've been listening for a while, you know that we've grown exponentially over the first couple of months. Whether that's listens, whether that's followers, we're blowing up, and you can be a part of it. If you have a company out there and you like to promote on the Doug Stewart Show, we'd love to partner with you. Here's what you do. Email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Once again, that's doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Whether that's locally, regionally, or nationally, we can get the word out. What you're talking about is middle-aged dudes that love sports and love exciting sports talk. Once again, email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. That's doug@thedougstewartshow.com, and we will put you out there, all right? That's doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Let's do some business. Yes!
National Debt Relief is one of the country's largest and most reputable debt settlement companies. made up of energetic individuals who are passionate about helping thousands of Americans with debt relief. Most importantly, we're all about helping our customers through a tough financial time in their lives with education and individual customer service. We're dedicated to helping individuals and families rid their lives of burdensome debt, specializing in debt settlement, and they've also negotiated settlements for thousands of creditor and collection accounts. Providing clients with both expertise and proven results, this means helping customers in time of hardship to get out of debt with the least possible cost. It can also mean conducting financial consultations, educating the customer, and recommending the appropriate solution. Core Services offer debt settlement as an alternative. I repeat, alternative to bankruptcy, credit counseling, and debt consolidation. National Debt Relief is your #1 advocate group to help you reestablish financial stability as quickly as possible. So give us a call at 844-828-4975. Again, that's 844-828-4975, and work it out.
At Ticket Liquidator, we believe you should have access to the experiences you want to be a part of. Since 2003, Ticket Liquidator has been connecting buyers and sellers with the most sought-after and often sold-out events across the country. Ticket Liquidator's nationwide network gives you access to one of the largest online inventories of sports, theater, and concert tickets, with prices lower than most companies in other markets. And our security policies are solid, so you can buy with absolute confidence. More tickets, better service, and lower prices, so you can witness the best entertainment, culture, and sports events worldwide. At Ticket Liquidator, we know that seeing a legend bring down the house or watching your team win the championship is about more than a ticket. It's about being there. For all your sports and entertainment ticket needs, call us at 855-638-3034. Again, that's 855-638-3034.
If you're not doing what the hell you doing, welcome back to the Doug Stewart Show, the realest, trillest, most unfiltered, fun sports and guy talk show in America, baby. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let's go. The number to the show is 404-382-0338. You can also email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. And, okay, so let me get this out there right now before I forget, because this really isn't that important. What's the deal with Serena and Drake? And we're going to talk about Michael Vick here in a second, but is that not like the odd couple that you can think of? Have you seen the pictures? TMZ has a story, and they've got some pictures of Serena and Drake, the rapper, like at this restaurant, and they're all cozy and they're necking. Wait a minute. Am I showing my age here? Did I just use the term necking? Do young people, do they still use that term? Yeah, necking just means, in effect, you're kind of like necking. You're like all over each other, and you're kissing them on the neck and the ears and all of that stuff. You're getting real freaky. And they used to use that term a lot back in the day on Happy Days. Yeah, so-and-so, they were necking. So Serena and Drake are in this restaurant, and they're necking. Yeah. And I'm like, man, what's the deal with Serena and these light-skinned dudes? Not just light-skinned dudes. She's very exotic in her taste in men. She used to mess with Common. Now she's messing with Drake. She really, really wished that she was back in 1978 when light skin was really, really in. But Serena needs to come on up to the new ages, baby. She need to get with some of this chocolate. Drake can't do nothing with that. He can't do nothing with that. 404-382-0338 is the number to the show. This is the Doug Stewart Show, and it's a Wild Out Wednesday. A little bit later on today's episode, we're going to break down the Buffalo Bills. We usually do a college team and a pro team, but we have run out of college teams. We only got 5 left, so we're going to wait a little bit till we get a little bit closer to the start of the season. So today we'll talk about the Buffalo Bills and the NFL. New things going down in Buffalo. So we'll talk about them a little bit later on today's show. But Mike Vick, MV7, was signed to the Pittsburgh Steelers on yesterday. Bruce Gradkowski dislocated a finger, and he's going to be out for about 4 weeks. And so Mike Vick gets the job. Mike Vick gets the job. Me, for one, I've talked about it a couple of days ago. We did the top 5 most exciting players in the NFL. And I think Mike Vick came in 3rd on my list. Yeah, behind Deion Sanders and behind Randy Moss. And we're talking all time. So a huge Mike Vick fan. Talk about it all the time. There's never been an atmosphere more exciting in sports in this town than when Mike Vick was here playing for the Falcons. And just at any time, anything crazy could happen. So I'm a fan. And for the things that he did as a player here in this city, I got fond memories. Now, what he did, we always have to address this whenever we talk about Mike Vick in relevant terms. What he did in fighting dogs and all of that craziness, man, was so unbelievably bad that words can't even express. But here's the thing, and I have to always remind people of this. The man paid his debt to society. The man went for jail. I mean, he's got to settle that with him and God, all right? What more can you do than what he's done? The man went to jail for years. And paid his penance. The reason I bring up all of that conversation, man, is because yesterday when the news first broke, and what I like to do in these type of stories with controversial figures, I'll go to that city's newspaper and I'll read the story from the beat writer or whoever posts a story about it, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. And then I'll go down and I'll read the comments from the readers. And I usually stay away from blogs and stuff like that on that medium because I know people are just crazy, all right? And you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. But in this particular circumstance, I went on there yesterday on the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette, and I read the comments about Mike Vick. And based on the comments from the fans of the Pittsburgh Steelers and people that live in that city, man, you would think Mike Vick had just murdered a couple more dogs or did a couple more, dirty deeds. I mean, the hate for this man, I can't imagine. I cannot imagine or think of anybody that's more hated in our society than Mike Vick. And once again, never said. You can go back and look at video of us and audio of us talking about this situation. Never said what he did wasn't horribly bad. But I believe in redemption. I believe in second and third and fourth and fifth chances. Okay, I was raised up in the church. Okay, I was. I might not be the most churchy person and the most godly person but I do believe in God, okay, and I believe in forgiveness. And it's amazing to me, man, that this man has been out of jail for probably 6-7 years. This man has gone and played for 2 other teams, but if you go read the comments by these people that are fans of the Steelers and people that live in that city, okay, the vitriol is so thick, you can cut it with a knife. And I'm like, why? Why, dude? Why? Why do you continue to harbor this hate for this man? What he did was wrong. What he did was terribly wrong. It was actually sick. A lot of people will talk about, that it's clinical how sick that was what went down at the Bad News Kennels in Virginia. Okay? I get all of that. And I agree. I agree. But at what point do you move on? At what point do you grant forgiveness? It's just unbelievable to me, man. I'm happy for this brother, man. Congratulations, MV7. Wow. If you go back and look at when he got out of jail, if you go back and you look at when he signed with the Philadelphia 76ers, and just go back to one of the backstories in the Philadelphia Inquirer or something like that, and look at the comments made by people. If you go back and look at when he signed with the New York Jets, and you go back and you look in the New York Times or the New York Post or whatever and read the comments, the same things happened 3 different times. This is the 3rd time where people are still mad at this ninja. I mean, till no end. And that ain't right. I mean, that's the best way I can sum it up. That ain't right, man. That ain't right. 404-382-0338 is the number to the show. You can also email me at doug@thedougshoreshow.com. Now, when you talk about it on the field, clearly Michael Vick has lost a couple of steps. But you know what? Mike Vick losing a couple of steps is probably still a lot faster than 95% of the dudes in the NFL. He's not the same player. A lot of people argue that he was never a great player in the first place. I disagree with that. But, okay, that's fine. But the Pittsburgh Steelers, which is one of the best organizations, not just in football, but in sports, okay, Mike Tomlin is one of the best coaches in football, felt like he was the best fit for what they needed in a backup quarterback to Ben Roethlisberger, and they went and signed the guy. How can you be mad? How can you be mad, man? That's the only question I got. If you're somebody out there, and we always like differing opinions on this show, I don't want you just to feel the same way that I do. I think a lot of people that listen to the Doug Stewart Show, they probably have the same sentiments on a lot of subjects, sports, social subjects, or whatever, because it's just that type of feel of show. But if you disagree with me, if you think Mike Vick is the most vile person walking the face of the earth, and you didn't think he should have gotten an opportunity to play in the NFL ever again, I want to hear from you. I mean, tell me what you're thinking in the chat. Give me a call. 404-382-0338 is the number to the show. I mean, this ain't nothing but healthy conversation. I just think those people are wrong. It's as simple as that. 404-382-0338 is the number to the show. You can also email me at doug@thedougsstewartshow.com. Once again, a little bit later, we are going to talk about the Buffalo Bills. A lot of big things going on in Buffalo. A real solid team when you look at these guys, man. A real solid team if you look at that organization and that team that they built up. Obviously, Rex Ryan coming in as the first-year head coach of the team. And so we'll get into some details and a little conversation about the Buffalo Bills coming up at about 11:30 p.m. Or a.m. Eastern Time right here on the Doug Stewart Show. 404-382-0338 is the number to the show. In the next segment, what we're going to do is we're going to talk some birthdays. Celebrity birthdays, something that we do here on the Doug Stewart Show, Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. Eastern Time. I mentioned it at the start of the show, man. Would you like to advertise your company, your business, product, or an event on the Doug Stewart Show? We are selling, this is unprecedented for radio. You can advertise whatever you want to advertise, for the most part. We do have to give you the stamp of approval. You can advertise on the Doug Stewart Show, a 60-second ad starting at just $5. That's unbelievable. So check out all the gigs for the Doug Stewart Show on Fiverr.com. That's Fiverr.com. All right, when we get back from the break, I'll start reading some of your chat. We'll talk about some birthdays and do what we do on the Doug Stewart Show. Don't go away.
Stewies, what's up? Tree here to talk about your home security and the security experts at Strickland Security. Everything the team at Strickland Security does is focused around increasing the security of your home, protecting your family, and your business. Most home security companies, especially the larger ones, want to sell you a cookie-cutter alarm system that maximizes their profits but not your security. The team at Strickland Security will install a customized alarm system that meets your budget and your security needs. This Atlanta-based company is here to solve all of your security problems. Whether you need your alarm system repaired, surveillance cameras installed, or your door locks replaced, Strickland Security is the solution. Don't wait. Call the experts at Strickland Security today. For more information, go to their website at stricklandsecurity.com or give them a call now at 800-422-9075. That's 800-422-9075 and tell them Tree sent you.
In life, things happen, good and bad, and being prepared is always important. If you're like me, a husband, a father, and protector of that family tree, then your family is the most important thing in the world. 95 million U.S. adults don't have protection in place. So, What I've done is put my protection in the hands of the largest and number one independent financial services company in North America, and that's Primerica. They look out for middle America because they believe that offering the most competitive premiums only benefits the client and have been doing so since 1977. If you're a parent, husband, or wife and want to discuss options with one of Primerica's top reps, then call my guy, Greg Wynn, at 678-439-7172. Again, that's 678-439-7172, and he'll put your family first. And hey, tell him that Doug Stewart sent you. Yes!
The Doug Stewart Show presents another episode of Stories with Uncle Dougie, straight out of Monk's Corner edition.
So my best friend, man, Bubba, he gets on the bus, and he sits down, and he's like distraught. And I'm like, dude, what's going on? And we're on the bus on the way to school. We're like in 9th, 10th grade, and we're on the bus on the way to school. And he says, my old man, he shot a man last night. I was like, wait a minute. What did you say? And I had heard these stories before, and then rest in peace, his daddy's name was Coconut. Coconut was a little guy, probably 5'5", about, 140 pounds. So he's a little dude. And little dudes, man, they don't got the tolerance to wrestle with you or fight or put up their hands or something like that, especially old cats like this where I'm from. He's like, my old man stumbled in 4 o'clock in the morning, and I met him in the hallway because he was extra intoxicated. And he looked at me and said, Bubba, I had to shoot a man tonight. And come to find out more of the story, now keep in mind, this was in 1985 or something like this. Coconut was probably in his late 50s, early 60s. And once again, I told you, the story on the street was that he had done this many times before. Come to find out, Coconut had shot 4, maybe 5 people throughout his life in our little town in Monk's Corner, South Carolina. This is not a lie. And I know this seems like a story from the Andy Griffith Show, from Ernest T. Bass. This is not a lie. In my hometown, you can literally shoot people or shoot at people, connect on their lower extremities 4, 5, 6 times and not go to jail forever.
The Doug Stewart Show.
Fantasy sports fans are winning huge cash prizes every day at DraftKings.com, America's favorite place to play daily fantasy sports. Daily fantasy means no season-long commitments. Play whenever you want. Just pick your sport and draft your team. It's like a new season every time you play, so you're never stuck with the same players. Last year, $300 million were won at DraftKings.com, and you could be next to win big. Go to DraftKings.com now and enter promo code STU to play for free. That's STU for free entry now at DraftKings.com. Also, if you use promo code STU, DraftKings will match your initial deposit up to $600. Deposit $600, play with $1,200. DraftKings.com, promo code STU. Hey, I love this track right here. I do. I love this track right here. A little new music from the Doug Stewart Show. Welcome back to the Doug Stewart Show. I'm doing that nay-nay right now. Yes, sir. All right, the number to the show is 404-382-0338. You can also email me at thedugstewartshow.com. This is a Wild Out Wednesday. You talk about wilding out. On the weekend of September 26th, we are going to be wilding out. The 1-year anniversary weekend of the Doug Stewart Show is going down. Real big Willie style right here in the ATL. Several parties, a golf tournament, a shoe show soiree, a Falcons Cowboys viewing party. Get all the details about the weekend, the 1-year anniversary of the Doug Stewart Show, and Carolina weekend as well, on the Doug Stewart Show weekend.eventbrite.com. Once again, it's TDSSweekend.eventbrite.com. Once again, that's TDSSweekend.eventbrite.com. Come to Atlanta and kick it with your boy. It's a celebration. It's definitely a celebration. All right, some celebrity birthdays today. James Harden turns 26 years old today. One of the best beards in sports and entertainment. Happy birthday to that brother. 26 years old. Ooh, Keke Palmer. Is it all right for me to go ooh when I say Keke Palmer? Does that put me in the pervert category? I mean, she's 22 years old now. And I saw a recent picture of her, and she has grown up. Praise God. Praise his holy name. I felt just now I had a little flashback of the Reverend Leon Lonnie Lett, or whatever his name was, on Martin. You remember David Allen Greer played Pam's cousin, I think he was. But he was like this real scandalous preacher. And you remember how David Allen Greer used to do his fingers? He used to rub them together. Like, ooh, yeah. So he was a perv. But yeah, Keke Palmer, you know her, actress and philanthropist, who gained recognition for her role in Barbershop 2, Back in Business, and played an inspirational starring role as Akilah in The Bee. She also appeared in Rags and Joyful Noise and was cast in Zayday on the Fox horror comedy series Scream Queens. She also appeared in a movie with Ice Cube as I think his daughter, and she played like quarterback for a Little League football team, which is a real cool movie, and I think I saw it because my daughter saw it. I think it was in the movie theater. But very accomplished young actress, man, 22 years old, and all I'm saying is just, I got daughters, I got young kids about this age. Just Google a picture of Keke Palmer, and she is growing up nicely. Let's just say that. Evan Ross, Diana Ross's baby boy, turns 27 years old today, actor, musician. The only thing I know dude from is he played in that ATL movie with T.I. But he turns 27 years old today. Happy birthday to the young Evan Ross. And Valerie Simpson, Ashford and Simpson, 69 years old today. Now, Ashford is dead, right? Ashford is dead, right. Okay, so Ashford was the brother that had the perm. Was that Ashford? He had a perm for many, many years.
What's the problem?
No, I'm asking.
It was.
Okay,
he looks like the dude from Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Right. And once again, I'm only asking, Tree, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show because, I get Ashford and Simpson and Peaches and Herbs and Donnie Marie. I get them mixed up.
Okay.
So Valerie Simpson is 69 years old today. Praise God. Happy birthday to Valerie Simpson. Who are their hits? Let's see.
It's okay. Keep going.
Oh.
We're done with birthdays.
Ain't no mountain high enough. Ain't no river low enough. All of that, Valerie Simpson. I mean, I do them very much justice. So happy birthday to her. To keep me from getting to you, babe. Yes, sir. So happy birthday to them. To her. Yeah, he's dead. He died a couple years ago, tragically, man. Perm still was tight, though. All right, 404-382-0338 is the number to the show. You can also email me at doug@thedougstewart.com. These rash of injuries in the NFL continue, man. Orlando Scandrick, the best cornerback for the Dallas Cowboys, is done for the season, tearing his ACL and MCL. And once again, for new listeners and never heard of the Doug Stewart Show or never heard of the Two Live Stews, I tore my ACL in college as well, man. And you saw the exact same thing happen with Jordy Nelson. Same scenario with me. No contact at all. And when you see a guy just go down, and reach and clutch his knee, for the most part, probably what it is, man. So that's a real tough loss for the Dallas Cowboys. Let's see what they do to recover. Dallas is one of those teams, one of the higher regarded teams coming into the league this year. A lot of people feel like the Cowboys can make a run for a Super Bowl, but that is definitely a tough hit for the team. 404-382-0338 is the number to the show. This is the Doug Stewart Show. Let me read some of this chat from the chat room. And, the easy way to get down with the Doug Stewart Show and be totally interactive is just to hit me up in the chat room on Spreaker.com. Thank you for all of the chat already, Stewies. From Star-Lord, he says BPA to the Steelers fans that said they were going to burn their season tickets if they signed Mike Vick. I don't see any tickets burning. That's a lot of talk. From what I understand, there's a waiting list to get Steelers season tickets for like many, many years. Like there are no waiting lists. Like fans of the Steelers that live in that city, they like will them to their kids. Like you don't get Steelers season tickets. That's just a lot of talk. From Andre Elam, that was a good look for Mike Tomlin, giving MV7 another shot. Hampton Road stand up. Yeah, Mike Tomlin is from the Tidewater, Virginia area where Mike Vick is from, and so there's a little bit of speculation that he's a fan. And actually, when he first got out of jail, the Steelers were one of the teams that supposedly were hot and heavy after Mike Vick. And, he ended up going to the Philadelphia Eagles, but Tomlin's talked about it. Even his days back as a coordinator with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in the NFC South, he talked about how tough it was to prepare defensively for dude. He had many sleepless nights preparing for Michael Vick and playing the Atlanta Falcons. So yeah, Mike Tomlin is definitely a fan of MV7 from Sluggo. The article regarding Serena is real. May use some of Richard's tactics as well. Yeah, I'm going to talk about that a little bit later, man. Very interesting article in the New York Times, written by a lady named Claudia Rankine, and going back and talking about Serena and what she faces in the culture of tennis and growing up in Compton, California, but some very real deep points made in there, and some commentary made by Richard Williams in another book that was written by Richard Williams, and talking about his upbringing of his daughters and how he prepared them for what they would face in tennis. So real deep. We'll talk about that a little bit later. From Fatboy McCoon Tree, you heard it first here. In 2 years, y'all going to be on satellite radio. I'm calling it. Praise God. You should have already been on there, you ask me. We got a great product here, man. We got a great product here. The 47th problem. Thank you, Fatboy McCoon. From the 47th problem, I have a BPA nomination. For new listeners, BPA stands for Boiled Peanuts Award. And it's a award that we give out weekly here on the Doug Stewart Show to the Buster of the Week. All right? So we do it every Friday. There's a long history behind the name. Ask somebody in the chat room. They'll tell you all about it. But he says, I have a BPA nomination, the largest number of people receiving a BPA in the history of the BPA Awards. 5,000 Pittsburgh fans petitioning that Mike Vick not be a Steeler should receive one BPA apiece. Hypocrites. Wow. They've got a petition of 5,000 votes. That's what I was talking about. That's what I was talking about earlier, man, when I first started talking about Mike Vick signing with the Steelers. Trust and believe the hate is thick. I mean, real thick. Like I said earlier, you can cut it with a knife thick. From Rel Scott, if Tebow, Sanchez, and Bradford are on a roster, it was a matter of time before Vick got on. Thanks, Mike Tomlin, for the brother hookup. From Clay Davis's Sheed advisor. And I don't think it's too much of a brother hookup. I mentioned how Tomlin is from the same area where Mike Vick grew up, but he was clearly the best quarterback on the street that could come in and help him at the quarterback position. From Clay Davis's Sheed advisor, multiple BPA today for Steelers fans hating on Vick and Kurt Schilling hating ass. From Dollars and Cents, yeah, being a Steeler fan is troubling the number of racist comments that fans are making. I mean, it's unbelievable. I'm telling you, if you read these comments from these Steelers fans, man, to me, I mean, maybe not to you. Once again, you may differ in opinion about this subject. To me, it's unbelievable the hate that still exists for this guy many years after he did jail time. Many years since he's been out of jail, people still don't want to let it go and forgive this dude. 404-382-0338 is the number to the show. When we get back from the break, speaking of hate, maybe we should retitle today's show The Hate Show. Speaking of hate, there's a lot of hate for quarterbacks in the NFL. I understand. I get it. I definitely get it. But we'll talk about it when we get back from the break, all right? 404-382-0338. This is the Doug Stewart Show. Don't go anywhere. You've been thinking about starting that online store, right? And you do know e-commerce makes billions a year. That's right. I said billions with a B. okay? A B. Well, just do it and do it right with my friends at AmeriCommerce. AmeriCommerce is an easy-to-use tool to sell anything online, on Facebook, and through mobile phones. Over 100,000 merchants and website owners have chosen AmeriCommerce to handle their stores and customers. They have the most in-depth features in the industry, which include multiple storefronts, website management from one console, a Facebook shopping application, a mobilized, optimized website, and much more. Don't let eBay, Amazon, and Zappos get all the money. Get your piece of the pie, too. Click on their banner link on thedougstewartshow.com or the app link for more details. First of all, thank you for listening to The Doug Stewart Show. Now, if you've been listening for a while, you know that we've grown exponentially over the first couple of months. Whether that's listens, whether that's followers, we're blowing up, and you can be a part of it. If you have a company out there and you like to promote on The Doug Stewart Show, we'd love to partner with you. Here's what you do. Email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Once again, that's doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Whether that's locally, regionally, or nationally, we can get the word out. What you're talking about is middle-aged dudes that love sports and love exciting sports talk. Once again, email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. That's doug@thedougstewartshow.com, and we will put you out there. All right? That's doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Let's do some business. Yes! Fantasy sports fans are winning huge cash prizes every day at DraftKings.com. America's favorite place to play daily fantasy sports. Daily fantasy means no season-long commitments. Play whenever you want. Just pick your sport and draft your team. It's like a new season every time you play, so you're never stuck with the same players. Last year, $300 million were won at DraftKings.com, and you could be next to win big. Go to DraftKings.com now and enter promo code STU to play for free. That's STU for free entry now at DraftKings.com. Also, if you use promo code STU, DraftKings will match your initial deposit up to $600. Deposit $600, play with $1,200. DraftKings.com, promo code STU. Welcome back to the Doug Stewart Show. Wild Out Wednesday. Yes. The number to the show is 404-382-0338. You can also email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. But the easy way to be totally interactive is just to hit me up in the chat room on Spreaker.com. Some quarterback hate. And I almost hate using the term hate because it's used so much today. Back in the day, they used to call this hate term. They used to call it constructive criticism. But now today is hate, and you hate so-and-so, and you hate so-and-so, and you don't want to be known as a hater. Well, call me what you want. When I give your ass an honest opinion, it is what it is. It's an honest opinion. It's not hate. I don't want you not to succeed in life. But Seattle Seahawks defensive lineman Michael Bennett is not a fan of NFL quarterbacks, nor wanting trying to get to them. Mike, he talked in an interview. Well, here's one of the quotes that he made. Quarterback is the only position in the NFL where you could be mediocre and get paid. Let's stop right there and dissect that point that he made. That's exactly right. That's true. All right. So far he's good. At every other position, you can be mediocre, Bennett said. If I was Ryan Tannehill and the most games I've ever won was 7, how could you get $100 million for that? Let's stop right there. Let's talk about that. You're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. Michael Bennett is very outspoken, very good player for the Seattle Seahawks, helped them get to a couple of Super Bowls. Yeah. I would call the bottom half of the quarterbacks that are getting $100 million or they have contracts for $100 million and getting $50 and $60 million guaranteed, I would call the bottom half of those guys mediocre. He's exactly right. I guess that's the value of the position. And then it's like you're sitting at home and there's breaking news and it says that Brian Hoyer is the quarterback of the Texans. I'm like, who cares? That's not breaking news. It's really not breaking news. So dude is just saying the things that we as fans, and I have said many, many times, to me, All right. And listen, I'm just being honest with you. To me, it's offensive to see Andy Dalton get the money that he got. I mean, it's absolutely offensive. Now, if you and his family, you're happy. You're happy if you're Andy Dalton and his family. You're happy, okay? But to think that Andy Dalton is worth the money that you're giving, this man threw 2 interceptions in 13 seconds. Like 113 seconds and a little bit less than 2 minutes the other night, including a pick 6. And this man's got a $100 million contract. I mean, really? Really? So at the end of the day, I emphatically agree with everything that Michael Bennett said about quarterbacks. But also, at the end of the day, I mean, what do you do about it? That's just the way it is right now, and that's the way that the system is set up. And they've actually got these rookie caps that they have now for guys just coming out of college. It used to be a whole lot worse. You remember when Sam Bradford came out of college and he got all of that gazillion amount of money that they paid him for the St. Louis Rams? You remember when Russell came out from LSU? He got a gazillion dollars, and they haven't proven anything. But that whole thing has kind of changed a little bit more. They've kind of got that back in line as far as the salary of these rookie quarterbacks and the bonuses that they get. But still, once again, the best word I can come up with, man, is offensive, as some of these quarterbacks are getting. And speaking of which, Martellus Bennett, tight end for the Chicago Bears, and it's a coincidence, both of these guys' last name are Bennett. I don't think they're related or anything. And he was talking about his quarterback. He says, quote, "Why does everyone always assume the quarterback is the leader? Sometimes I like Cuddy," talking about Jay Cutler, and sometimes I don't. When I think of a leader, I think if he started a company, would guys come to work for him? There's a lot of guys on our team who, if they started a business, it'd be F you. I'm going to go work at McDonald's. And we talked about that before as well. Why is it always assumed that the quarterback is the leader of the team? And he's almost given that opportunity to be said leader of the team. There's a lot of instances that I can remember from the outside as a fan looking in, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show, where I didn't think that the quarterback was the leader, quote unquote, leader of the team. The first one that comes to mind in particular is the Baltimore Ravens. You knew good and well who was the leader of that team. It was Ray Lewis. For many, many years, with all the quarterbacks they had, Trent Dilfer was never the leader of that team. It was Ray Lewis. You knew it from day one. So that isn't always the case where the quarterback is the leader of the team. I think they want the quarterback to be the leader of the team. Even with the Dallas Cowboys, I don't think Troy Aikman was the leader of the team. I think the vocal leader and the guy that people rallied around was probably Michael Irvin. Maybe even Emmitt Smith. I don't know about Troy Aikman. Troy Aikman always seemed kind of quiet. I don't see Troy Aikman going into a locker room and making these rah-rah speeches type of thing. So I definitely agree with what the Bennetts are saying. Yes, Tree?
People in the chat are saying they're brothers.
They are brothers. I did not know that. So we're talking about Michael Bennett for the Seattle Seahawks and Martellus Bennett from the Chicago Bears. And we interviewed Martellus Bennett when he played for the Dallas Cowboys when he first came into the league. And remember, I talked about it, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. For Stu listeners, for the Doug Stewart Show listeners, I talked about this a couple of weeks ago, how we did a week's worth of shows in Oxford, California with the Dallas Cowboys. And I think that whole thing was set up through HBO. So Martellus Bennett was playing for the Cowboys at that point. I think that was the first year he was drafted to the team. And we interviewed him. Dude is a real cool dude. I remember that. He's a real cool dude. You know, he's very controversial on some of the things that he said. If they're brothers, it makes sense now. Him and his brothers don't hold their tongue about nothing. And so, yeah, that's some real cool stuff. I definitely agree with what these cats are saying. From Grego in the chat room, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show, he says, "In here like a hickey on Serena's neck." Hickey is another old school term. Tree, do you think your kids and their friends, no, not your kids, do you think your kids have heard the term hickey like in the hallways at their school?
Absolutely not.
Yeah, hickey is definitely an old school term. And necking. Necking is even an old school term. Like, I haven't heard the term necking since I was probably like 7 or 8 years old. Once again, the place that I used to hear that term always used was on Happy Days. From Rel Scott, he says Serena got way too much for Drake. Come on, man. I agree. Serena got way too much cake for Drake. He ain't hitting it right. From Fatboy McCoon, Serena might or just want to bust one. That probably just smashed. They probably just smashed. She don't want him. I hope she don't want that ninja, man. From Matt, necking means something different now. What does necking mean? Oh, yeah, I do know what the new term. See, every once in a while, because I am kind of in the classification of an old man, every once in a while I'll get on Hip Hop Urban Dictionary and find out what the kids are saying. In particular, I got on there a couple of months ago when they were telling me about this, what's the song that's out right now and the term they keep using, and I didn't know what it meant. Oh, truffle butter. Ooh. Tree, do you know what truffle butter is?
No.
I need you to get on, and you need to listen, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. I need you to get on urbandictionary.com and just search truffle butter. It doesn't mean what you think. Let me just tell you that right now. And when you find it, Tree, come back on the mic and let's discuss it. From the 47th problem, I'm still riding the streets looking for Drake. I'm going to kick his behind when I see him. Take your hands off my girl, ninja. That's from the 47th problem. From Sandman, necking. For real, Doug? Laugh out loud. Yeah, it seemed appropriate for the conversation. From the Kicking It with Kissy show. What up, Kissy? Ready to do this today, baby? Thanks to Stewart Media for providing great opportunities to build others up. You are welcome, brother. If you're just joining us on the show in the last couple of minutes, we've been talking about it all day long. It's a big day for the Doug Stewart Show, man. It's a big step for us. My old man used to always say you got to walk before you crawl before you walk. You got to walk before you run. Today we are airing our first new show to the network on the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network, the Kicking It with Kesey show, coming up today at 2 p.m. So make sure you follow Stewart Media and Entertainment, the Doug Stewart Show, the home of the Doug Stewart Show, so you'll get an alert when the show goes live. It's a 30-minute show. He's doing an interview with Tammy Harper. In effect, it's an interview talking about a starving artist going to working professional. So Kesey, if you know him and if you've conversated with him before in the chat room, he's big in the music scene, tech guy, Atlanta guy, went to Morehouse. And so you know how the music business is here in this town. So this is a great platform and a great subject matter for shows in this city in particular because of the music industry. You got this burgeoning Hollywood-type vibe to the city as well with movies and TVs being shot here in the city. So, yeah, you're going to hear a lot of these type of stories where you're talking about starving artists going to professional, working professionals. And so today, stay tuned at 2 p.m. for the Kicking It with Kesey show on the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network. From Sluggo, all those godly folks in Pittsburgh acting like that, go figure. From Texas Tie, who would you rather have, Landry Jones or Mike Vick? Come on, Pittsburgh. From Dollars and Cents, Doug, got to remember Pittsburgh's near West Virginia. Some of the most racist people live or near Pittsburgh. Sad. That's right. Yeah, geography-wise, Pittsburgh and West Virginia aren't too far apart. I think they actually share the border together. That's why it's always a big game whenever Pitt takes on West Virginia in football, in college football. From Clay Davis' Sheet Advisor, Vic did have a fall guy, but they snitched on him. Speaking of that fall guy conversation the other day from Chris Carter, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show, I mean, that was the biggest scenario of a fall guy that you could think of. And it didn't go as planned. It did not go as planned with MV7 and that whole stuff that went down in Virginia. Crazy. From Fatboy McCoon, white people hunt, which isn't the case totally. I hunt. White people hunt. Mexicans fight chickens and blacks fight dogs. They need to get over it. I mean, that's really generalizing there, sir. Got to filter these chat messages a little bit more. from corporate brother Doug. I'm from Decatur, but I live in Pittsburgh now. They were saying all kinds of crazy-ish. I had to remind cats the Big Ben is the Bill Cosby of the NFL. Shut it up, people. And that's the even crazier slant to this whole story. Your starting quarterback who you love and admire so much, he ain't squeaky clean either, you know? And a lot of people talk about Ben Roethlisberger and sexual assaults and all of that stuff that he beat in the same vein, in the same manner. Got selective memory, man. Selective memory. All right, when we get back from the break, man, it'll be hour number 2 of the Doug Stewart Show. Don't go away. Keep it locked.
National Debt Relief is one of the country's largest and most reputable debt settlement companies, made up of energetic individuals who are passionate about helping thousands of Americans with debt relief. Most importantly, we're all about helping our customers through a tough financial time in their lives with education and individual customer service. We're dedicated to helping individuals and families rid their lives of burdensome debt. Specializing in debt settlement, and they've also negotiated settlements for thousands of creditor and collection accounts. Providing clients with both expertise and proven results, this means helping customers in time of hardship to get out of debt with the least possible cost. It can also mean conducting financial consultations, educating the customer, and recommending the appropriate solution. Core Services offer debt settlement as an alternative. I repeat, alternative to bankruptcy, credit counseling, and debt consolidation. National Debt Relief is your #1 advocate group to help you reestablish financial stability as quickly as possible. So give us a call at 844-828-4975. Again, that's 844-828-4975, and work it out.
The best of the Doug Stewart Show.
So I'm probably 6. So Jesse Bryant rolls by, and I remember it like it was yesterday. He rolls by in his truck, and for some reason, something in my mind says, pick up a rock and throw it at Jesse. And I hit his truck. And not only did I hit his truck, it was a damn good throw and aim because it hit his windshield. And it cracked his windshield. So he stops and jumps out of the truck. I don't think anybody saw me, but he jumps out and, Isaac, so your grandson hit my truck with a rock. They had a little conversation. I'm like, oh man, this is bad. And sure enough, my grandfather walks up and sees this nick on the windshield. And Jesse rolls away, and I know I'm in trouble. My daddy not around, my mother not around, and my grandfather reaches down, and this is God is my witness. Strike me down right here. My grandfather reaches down and pulls off a branch from a rose bush. Yes, just drags his arm and pulls off the leaves. Thorns are still applied to said switch. You get your ass whooped with a switch is bad enough, but a thorny switch? Oh my gosh. So he commences to busting my ass with a thorny switch. Yes. And you know I was marked up from head to toe. Now, that's probably child abuse. Not saying that what Adrian Peterson didn't do was child abuse either, but that was child abuse. That's a deadly weapon. And this is no lie. You're listening to The Doug Stewart Show. Fantasy sports fans are winning huge cash prizes every day at DraftKings.com. America's favorite place to play daily fantasy sports. Daily fantasy means no season-long commitments. Play whenever you want. Just pick your sport and draft your team. It's like a new season every time you play. So, you're never stuck with the same players. Last year, $300 million were won at DraftKings.com, and you could be next to win big. Go to DraftKings.com now and enter promo code STU to play for free. That's STU for free entry now at DraftKings.com. Also, if you use promo code STU, DraftKings will match your initial deposit up to $600. Deposit $600, play with $1,200. DraftKings.com, promo code STU. I can feel it. Welcome back to the Doug Stewart Show. This is a Wild Out Wednesday. Thanks for joining you, folk. The number to the show is 404-382-0338. You can also email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Once again, man, check out tdssweekend.eventbrite.com. The Doug Stewart Show weekend celebrating the 1-year anniversary of the show, as well as we're kind of combining it with Carolina weekend. A ton of South Carolina and North Carolina people live in Metro Atlanta, so I'm trying to bring them all together and celebrate, man. But obviously, man, a huge thing for us. 1 year on air, and it's only getting bigger and better. We're doing big things, broadcasting other shows, and we're doing the damn thing. So go to tdssweekend.eventbrite.com and get all the details. Get your tickets for all the events. There's a golf tournament. There's a couple of parties, an all-black party Saturday night, meet and greet party on Friday, day party, viewing party at Sweet Lounge, downtown ATL on the rooftop, tdssweekend.eventbrite.com. All right, so before I even get into this chat, I started to see a lot of chat talking about Ronda Rousey. And I'm like, what the hell are they talking about? So I did a little search and pulled up Google, or not Google, TMZ. And there's a story out that I guess they just went with a little bit earlier today, 6:30 a.m. I'm looking at the time on TMZ. Ronda Rousey is doubling down in her war with Floyd Mayweather, calling him an illiterate moron and hitting him over the head with the subject that's the most dear to his heart, money. Of course, the two have been trading shots for months, and when Ronda was out walking her dog in L.A. yesterday, she blasted him again, claiming she's the real top earner in combat sports. Floyd said, "You make $300 million a night, then you can give me a call." And I actually did the math, and given the numbers of my last fight, I'm actually the highest paid UFC fighter, and I'm a woman. Huh? What kind of damn math you doing? Okay, see. She said, and that's Tree joining in. She said in UFC, what the hell do we care whether you're talking about UFC? Floyd was talking about money. Floyd made $300 million in about 30 minutes. I don't care what kind of math you do she made like $120,000 in her last fight. That was only a couple of seconds, but $120,000 is never, no matter how you cut it, is going to equal the type of money that Floyd Mayweather makes. Man, just sit your ass down somewhere.
Can I get some music when I get ready to really keep it real, Detroit style?
Say it again.
Can I get some music when I get ready to keep it real, Detroit style?
Okay, go ahead, Tree. Keep it real.
You just need some attention, Rhonda. Ain't no way in hell we are going to watch a black man whoop a white woman's ass on pay-per-view. That's number one.
That ain't gonna happen. That ain't gonna happen. In 2015 in America, we are not. Let me repeat what Tree just said. We are not going to be allowed to watch a black man whoop a white chick's ass on TV. That's never gonna happen. Not in this country. No way.
So in the great words of Ninja, stop it. Just stop it. Whoever your people are, tell them to stop telling you to say bullshiggity to get some attention. And yes, sit your ass down. Go, in fact, and I can't believe, go home and cook something.
What?
Make yourself useful. Okay?
Wait a minute. Did Tree go all cave woman on me? Did
No.
Tree go all cave woman? Miss Woman's Rights, Miss Billie Jean King?
No, you got to be able to do both. I need to be able to make the coin, but also handle my business. And I need for her to show us something else. We know you can fight, okay?
You can fight other women.
Okay, but what else can you do?
Yeah.
Can you be quiet for just a little while? It's okay. It doesn't mean you're weak, Rhonda. Shut the hell up.
Yeah. Now, you know what it is. I mean, this is kind of like the promotions business. And I'm sure her promoters are telling her to do this stuff to build herself up in a possible fight with Floyd Mayweather Jr. That whole conversation is just nonsense for a couple of reasons. One, Floyd Mayweather, the whole thought of Floyd Mayweather getting in a ring with a chick is so silly. For Floyd Mayweather to get into a ring and fight a woman is a lose-lose situation. He gets in the ring and he beats the hell out of her, which, is going to happen. He loses. You beat up a woman. How could you do that? And say Floyd Mayweather goes in there and somehow twists his knee and goes down and can't continue to fight, and they award Ronda Rousey winner of this fight, then he lost to a woman. Why would Floyd Mayweather get in there to fight Ronda Rousey? Why would anybody even consider that? That's so silly. That's so silly. And Ronda Rousey, once again, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show, you beat the hell out of a lot of women. But Floyd Mayweather Jr., whether you like him or not, whether you hate him, this, that, or the other, Floyd Mayweather been using his hands to make money since he was like 6 years old. Well, that's when he started his training. Just stop it. Seriously, just stop it. Like Tree said, just stop it. 404-382-0338. So that kind of took me to the to all of this chat messages that I saw. From Thel Pay says Ronda Rousey called Mayweather an illiterate moron. What's wrong with this girl? One thing, Floyd may not, in the famous words of my Uncle Donnie, and 50 Cent was clowning Floyd and talking about, he can't read and all this, that, and that, and the other. Floyd may not be able to read, but that ninja sure enough can count. How about that? Dollars and cents. Well, I'm sure Mayweather had to have his advisor read him her comments, laugh out loud. The man has a little issue with reading. And now, Floyd says that he can read. Floyd says that he can read just as good as anybody else, but he got a little nervous on that video where they showed him, or it wasn't video, it was actually audio. I think he was on the Breakfast Club in New York, my homeboy Charlemagne the God show, and they had him do like a commercial or a line or something like that. And he was struggling through it. Floyd said the only reason he was struggling was because he was nervous, to do something like that. He had never done something like that before. And I can tell you that if you've never got behind a microphone to do a commercial and it's your first time doing it, you might get a little nervous. Now, it might be a little choppy. You might have to do it a couple of times. Whenever we do voiceovers, I have to do them a couple of times. And I can understand where he's coming from, that he was a little nervous. But not that bad. I mean, the way it sounded, that audio of Floyd, it really sounded like the brother really couldn't read. And he's saying that's not the case, and I believe him. How the hell you can be a grown-ass man in 2015 and can't read? I think there are cases out there that it happens, but I don't want to believe that. From Sandman, Rousey got the big head fell. All them TMT girls going to jump on her, and Mayweather ain't going to stop them. There's quite a few female boxers in that camp, laugh out loud. From Clay Davis's Sheed advisor, fair play. It's amazing that Ronda needs keep Money's name in her mouth. She needs to keep, she's always keeping Floyd's name in her mouth. Yeah. I mean, but it helps boost her brand. When she's on video and she's on TMZ and the Doug Stewart show's talking about it, yeah, it helps her cause. I get it. I totally get it. She's crazy as hell. And you're crazy as hell if you think that that's going to ever happen. I'm telling you, that ain't going to happen. That'd be stupid. That'd be real stupid. 404-382-0338 is the number to the show. You can also email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. When we get back from the break, man, I want to talk a little bit about Steve Sarkisian. Been meaning to do it for a couple of days. Haven't gotten the chance to do it. We will, up next on the Doug Stewart Show.
National Debt Relief is one of the country's largest and most reputable debt settlement companies, made up of energetic individuals who are passionate about helping thousands of Americans with debt relief. Most importantly, we're all about helping our customers through a tough financial time in their lives with education and individual customer service. We're dedicated to helping individuals and families rid their lives of burdensome debt. Specializing in debt settlement, and they've also negotiated settlements for thousands of creditor and collection accounts. Providing clients with both expertise and proven results, this means helping customers in time of hardship to get out of debt with the least possible cost. It can also mean conducting financial consultations, educating the customer, and recommending the appropriate solution. Core Services offer debt settlement as an alternative. I repeat, alternative to bankruptcy, credit counseling, and debt consolidation. National Debt Relief is your #1 advocate group to help you reestablish financial stability as quickly as possible. So give us a call at 844-828-4975. Again, that's 844-828-4975, and work it out.
The best of the Doug Stewart Show.
Give you the history on this Doug Stewart and Tree Taylor battle in Trivia Crack. We just started playing last week. We played 3 games. I won the first one in handily fashion. And then Tree has come along to beat me 2 times in a row. All right, now I blame Trivia Crack for asking me dumbass questions about romance comedies from the 1980s. That's who I blame. But she's won, and I got to give her credit. What? I knew you were going to tell me.
Like, when you talk about women, Tree has come along.
It ain't got nothing to do with you being a woman.
I showed up.
Oh, wait, did you just, what? Oh, my gosh. Did she just call me the N-word? Oh, damn. We made Doug Stewart Show history just now. As many times as I've almost uttered that term, you did it! And we don't have 7-second delay.
I'm fired.
You getting the BPA. You nominated for a Boiled Penis Award.
No.
Yes, you are. The first time in the Doug Stewart Show history, someone utters the N-word.
I'm sick of you.
You're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. Good thing we, on radio, traditional radio, the FCC be beating down my damn door right now. They're already looking for a reason to try to put me out of business. And you come up with this. Golly, Tree, you're better than that.
That girl is poison. You never trust a big button to smile.
At Ticket Liquidator, we believe you should have access to the experiences you want to be a part of. Since 2003, Ticket Liquidator has been connecting buyers and sellers with the most sought-after and often sold-out events across the country. Ticket Liquidator's nationwide network gives you access to one of the largest online inventories of sports, theater, and concert tickets with prices lower than most companies in other markets. And our security policies are solid, so you can buy with absolute confidence. More tickets, better service, and lower prices, so you can witness the best entertainment, culture, and sports events worldwide. At Ticket Liquidator, we know that seeing a legend bring down the house or watching your team win the championship is about more than a ticket. It's about being there. For all your sports and entertainment ticket needs, call us at 855-638-3034. Again, that's 855-638-3034.
All right, I've said it a couple times over the last couple days. This is my new theme song right here. Fitting to get loose. Yes, sir. Fitting to get loose on the Doug Stewart Show. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Welcome back to the Doug Stewart Show. This is a Wild Out Wednesday. And the number to the show is 404-382-0338. You can also email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Getting you all of your thoughts on everything going on in the world of sports. Michael Vick back in a football locker room with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Signed yesterday. Quarterback hate in the NFL. What are your thoughts on that? We'll get to Steve Sarkisian here in a second. But this segment is brought to you by my good friends from Strickland Security. Man, Atlanta, great place, man. But Atlanta does have some issues with crime and protecting your property and your home is a precedent. You should really, really look to do that to take care of the people that you love. And my friends at Strickland Security can do that, and they can do it in a responsible way and help take care of the needs that you have. Whether they're big or small. They can install the latest state-of-the-art alarm system in your home, but maybe that's not in your budget. The team at Strickland Security can fix your existing system or install just a basic alarm system, whatever the case may be. Most companies only want to sell you a big system, It might be a small one. You might not even need that. They might even come in there and just fix the one that you have. They can do that. They have 55 years in experience at Strickland Security to protect your house, your wife when she's home alone, your kids. You've seen the news. A lot of crazy things going on in Metro Atlanta. They can even come in and meet with you and your homeowners association and tell you how you can set up like a neighborhood watch and how their alarm systems can help in your fight against crime, all right? So these people really look out for your best interests. Give them a call at Strickland Security at 800-422-9075. Again, that's 800-422-9075. Or just check them out online at StricklandSecurity.com and tell them that the Doug Stewart Show sent you. All right, in about 15 minutes, we're going to talk about the Buffalo Bills. We're going to break them down for our preseason team report. Stay tuned for that. But I've been meaning to talk about this for the last couple of days, man. Steve Sarkisian and the story that went down on the campus at USC. They were having their annual Salute to Troy pep rally before a campus crowd of donors, players, parents. And apparently, Steve Sarkisian was drunk as a skunk. Now, he was called out on it, and you've seen somebody behind a microphone that's drunk, slurring their words, cussing up a storm, using all kind of four-letter words. He was drunk, and he acknowledged that he had been drinking before, but he's trying to tie it into the fact that he had been taking some prescription medicine and that he didn't realize it, and he mixed them, and he had some type of allergic reaction. Sounds like a likely story to me. So he's apologized. He's apologized. Clearly he would do that. He's apologized. The team so far hasn't suspended him, or the NCAA or college football hadn't come down and suspended him. He hadn't been fined or anything like that. The first thing that I thought about when this whole story happened, ultimately what happened is he asked the players, this is some old pie in the sky, old bootleg crap right here. He asked the players what should be his punishment. And I don't know whether he gave a couple of options, and one of the options was like doing wind sprints or up and downs or something on the field or whatever. And the players let him do that, and the players have come out and said that they support him and that it's all forgiven and forgotten. That's right. Studio audience feels me on this. And you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. Now, you know me. I am anti-NCAA. I feel like that they are stealing from these kids, and they have been stealing from these kids for 100 years, not compensating them for the product that they put on the field. I'm anti-NCAA in the rhetoric and the platform that they stand upon. And I'm against coaches not being fair and athletic programs not being fair to the players. I'm always pro-player for the most part, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. So we've seen guys get in trouble over the last couple of years. The first thing that I thought about when I heard about this story, man, is Jameis Winston. And you remember when Jameis Winston a couple of years ago, there's been so many different things that he was involved with, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. You remember a couple of years ago when he had that whole incident about F him in the vagina? That's the best way I could clean that up. Where he jumped on this table. You do know that he was suspended for the first series. Was it the first series or maybe the first quarter of a game they had that particular weekend? It was against Clemson Tigers. So I know he's a coach, and that's a player, and different teams have different rules for indiscretions with staff and players. But I really believe he should have been suspended. And talking about Steve Sarkisian, he should have been suspended at least for a half, based on what happened with Jameis Winston, based on other stories that you've heard involving players over the many, many years in the past. He should have been suspended for all reasons. For the least being that he's a coach, he's an adult, he's an administrator. He should be held to a higher standard. And in effect, he's getting away with doing what he did. Once again, on a public forum, the head coach of a football team, in front of fans, in front of donors, in front of Booster Club members, in front of the players, in front of the administration of the school, cussing, screaming, slurring his speech, clearly drunk like Woody the Wino from Good Times, and nothing happens to him? Nothing. I don't think so. I think something should have happened. I'm not saying he should have lost his job. It was clearly a mistake. He probably won't do it again. I'm not saying banish the guy to exile forever. But I believe in this comparison to players and what they've done in the past, I think he is skating. I mean, skating. Just bookmark this. All right, let's do this on the Doug Stewart Show. Bookmark this story. And the next time something similar happens with a player, let's see what happens. Or even if this type of scenario comes up with a USC player, more in particular, let's see what happens. Let's see if they look the other way. Let's see if they're all forgiving. Let's see. Now, it probably won't happen real soon with a USC player where they'll be admonished to the degree that they would have had this incident not happen with Steve Sarkisian. Wait a couple of years. Let's bookmark this for a couple of years, and when a player at USC gets in trouble or says something or does something that's crossing the line, let's see how the team and the program react. 404-382-0338 is the number to the show. This is the Doug Stewart Show. Let me read more of your chat here. From Scotty, he says, Michael Bennett is 100% right. Brian Hoyer and Jake McCown get starting jobs and are garbage. Sam Bradford. Let me say something about that. This is why I think that a lot of people argue with you about why quarterbacks get so much money. There's only 32 of these jobs in the world. And the fact that I'd say 12, 13 of these guys suck, the bottom half of those 32 guys that suck, that'll tell you how much a premium it is to have a good quarterback. Okay? There's only 32 of these jobs in the world. There's only 32 quarterback jobs for NFL teams in the world. And 15 of them suck or damn near suck. So that'll tell you there's really only 15 starting quarterback caliber type players in the world. The last half of that 32, they suck. Or they're mediocre at best. They're average at best. Yeah, play quarterback, man. Play quarterback. And I saw a guy this morning. I can't remember who it was. I always have on Mike and Mike on in the background. You're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. I think it was Tim Hasselback. And he was doing this interview with somebody. You know he's going to defend quarterbacks. And he was saying to these Bennett brothers, he's like, all right, yeah, that's fine. If you want to play quarterback, go ahead and play quarterback. Saying that, if you could play quarterback, you would. If you could make the money that a quarterback makes, you would, but you can't. You're a defensive end, or you're a defensive lineman, or you're a tight end, and talking about the Bennett kid in Chicago, Martellus. So that's a good point. I mean, if you could play quarterback, you would. If they could find a quarterback good enough to start in the NFL, these teams would. But they can't. They can't. There are probably, and I need to look at a list of all the starting quarterbacks in the NFL. I promise you, there aren't 15 guys that I would say are bona fide starting quarterbacks in the NFL. The last half of that list are mediocre at best. They're average at best when you're talking about the top tier. When you're talking about the Peyton Mannings and the Tom Bradys and the Drew Breeses of the world. Yeah. Even you can start to have question marks about guys you would say come in that 5 to 10 or 10 to 15 range in the Cam Newtons and the Colin Kaepernicks. There's a debate to be had about that, man. Sam Bradford will be hurt by week 4 because getting hurt is all the guy does. He got hurt his last year at Oklahoma and still got $50 million guaranteed, which is one of the most amazing things that I've ever seen in my life. The man got hurt, tore up his knee his last year, and still got a $50 million guaranteed contract. Only in America. He can't stay on the field. J.B. Jennings, the Bennett boys are brothers, Doug. My uncle knows their father. Matter of fact, they're from the Tidewater area too, I believe. Yeah, I earlier said that I didn't think they were related, but I'm getting from a lot of people that they are. From Grego, Bennett's voice was hilarious in the interview. Y'all have to hear it. From J.B. Jennings, preach Bennett, call him out. Thorny Switch, Bennett told no lies. Oh, he told no lies. Eugene Jackson, Doug, how come Steve Sarkisian didn't get suspended? Yeah, if this was a college player, he would have been kicked off the team. Let me stop and think about that for a second. If a college football player were making a speech at a pep rally when the administration was there, boosters, fans, teammates, coaches, and everything, I think it's a safe bet to say that he would have been suspended for a couple of games. I don't know about kicked off the team, but definitely suspended. Definitely. They should be held to a higher standard. Don't go away. When we get back, man, we'll talk a little bit of Buffalo Bills football and our preseason football reports on the Doug Stewart Show and read more of your chat. This is Sports Talk with Hot Sauce, Texas Pete Hot Sauce, the Doug Stewart Show. In life, things happen, good and bad, and being prepared is always important. If you're like me, a husband, a father, and protector of that family tree, then your family is the most important thing in the world. 95 million U.S. adults don't have protection in place. So, what I've done is put my protection in the hands of the largest and number one independent financial services company in North America, and that's Primerica. They look out for middle America because they believe that offering the most competitive premiums only benefits the client and have been doing so since 1977. If you're a parent, husband, or wife and want to discuss options with one of Primerica's top reps, then call my guy, Greg Wynn, at 678-439-7172. Again, that's 678-439-7172, and he'll put your family first. And hey, tell him that Doug Stewart sent you. Yes!
The Doug Stewart Show presents another episode of Stories with Uncle Dougie, straight out of Monk's Corner edition.
So my best friend, man, Bubba, he gets on the bus, and he sits down, and he's like distraught. And I'm like, dude, what's going on? And we're on the bus on the way to school. We're like in 9th, 10th grade, and we're on the bus on the way to school. And he says, my old man, he shot a man last night. I was like, wait a minute. What did you say? And I had heard these stories before, and rest in peace, his daddy's name was Coconut. Coconut was a little guy, probably 5'5", about, 140 pounds. So he's a little dude. And little dudes, man, they don't got the tolerance to wrestle with you or fight or put up their hands or something like that, especially old cats like this where I'm from. He's like, my old man stumbled in 4 o'clock in the morning, and I met him in the hallway because he was extra intoxicated. And he looked at me and said, Bubba, I had to shoot a man tonight. And come to find out more of the story, now keep in mind, this was in 1985 or something like this. Coconut was probably in his late 50s, early 60s. And once again, I told you, the story on the street was that he had done this many times before. Come to find out, Coconut had shot 4, maybe 5 people throughout his life in our little town in Monk's Corner, South Carolina. This is not a lie. And I know this seems like a story from the Andy Griffith Show, from Ernest T. Bass. This is not a lie. In my hometown, you can literally shoot people or shoot at people, connect on their lower extremities 4, 5, 6 times, and not go to jail forever.
The Doug Stewart Show.
Fantasy sports fans are winning huge cash prizes every day at DraftKings.com, America's favorite place to play daily fantasy sports. Daily fantasy means no season-long commitments. Play whenever you want. Just pick your sport and draft your team. It's like a new season every time you play, so you're never stuck with the same players. Last year, $300 million were won at DraftKings.com, and you could be next to win big. Go to DraftKings.com now and enter promo code STU to play for free. That's Stu for free entry now at DraftKings.com. Also, if you use promo code STU, DraftKings will match your initial deposit up to $600. Deposit $600, play with $1,200. DraftKings.com, promo code STU. Music fire today, Tree. Thank you. One of the greatest producers in the history of producers, the Tree of Life. There it is. Get a lot, get the lit, get a lifestyle. Bottom to the top, knit my lifestyle. I'm the kind of clap, Why you take your headphones off, Tree? That's just how that dude sounds. Welcome back to the Doug Stewart Show. Oh, more fun than a little bit around here, man. Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. Eastern Time, right here on the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network, the home of the Doug Stewart Show. Today at 2 p.m., man, and make sure you're paying attention to your phones when you get a little alert, man. The Kicking It with Kesey Show. 2 p.m. today, Eastern Time. So stay tuned, all right? 404-382-0338 is the number to the show. Before I jump into this Buffalo Bill talk, Tree, I gotta get your thoughts on this. And you said this to me, and I went and actually researched it, and you were right. You weren't lying to me. But I need to get your reaction, and I know where you're going to go with this probably, kind of, based on the conversation we had a while back. But Russell Wilson and Ciara purchased marriage licenses?
Where I'm going to go with it is, where is my wedding music?
So wait a minute. They purchased marriage licenses or wedding rings? Which is it? Or both?
Marriage licenses is what's being reported, but she probably already has the ring. Okay? And I need you to celebrate. You're having your 20-year anniversary, and then you're going to sit on here on this show and disrespect a man that wants to make an honest woman out of Ciara.
Make an honest woman out of her? How he going to do that?
Stop it.
How's he going to do that? All right, no offense. Let me stop playing with Ciara. I don't know Ciara personally. I don't. But when I heard this story, when you told me this for the first time, all I could think about was that brother with the real jacked up teeth on social media sitting back in his seat. Is Ciara and her girl sitting around drinking some Pinot.
Naaman, what's his name? Wayman?
I don't know, but everybody knows what I'm talking about. But all I can picture is Ciara doing that little move that guy has on social media, sitting back talking to her girls, drinking wine, talking about, got him! Got him! Yeah, we got that ninja. We got his ass, girls.
No.
Yes.
No, he wants to do right by her. Now, mind you, it might be so he can get that good, but hey, I always think too that when you meet people that like have been married a lot of times, that they have these beliefs, this belief system,
right.
And so that might be why they're actually following through with the marriage. But you got to respect that.
Yeah, once again, and Tree mentioned it just now, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. Today is my 20th anniversary of being married, man. Happy anniversary to my wife. It is. And listen, all I want is happiness for them. All I want is happiness for Ciara and Russell Wilson. We had a long discussion about this on the show a couple of months back, man, and I thought the whole thing was a farce. It looks like
no, it wasn't a couple of months. It was 2 weeks ago when you was talking ish up on this camp.
Right. So
8-7, 8-5, one of them dates.
Right.
And I told you then, God can do anything.
Right. So Tree is very believing in marriage, and I'm very suspect of this particular relationship. But it looks like that Russell Wilson is going to make, quote unquote, he's going to make Ciara an honest woman. Because she has told so many lies. No, I'm just joking. But hey, praise God. Bless them, man. Bless them. I mean, I hope I get an invite to the wedding. I doubt that's going to happen. But, I mean, hey, good for them. Great for them. 404-382-0338 is the number to the show. This is the Doug Stewart Show. Let's talk a little bit about the Buffalo Bills. Nobody circles the wagons like the Buffalo Bills. Probably the biggest storyline coming into this season, obviously, is Rex Ryan, the new head coach of the Buffalo Bills, coming from the same division, coaching the New York Jets for many, many years, having relatively good success coaching the Jets. Took him to a couple of AFC championship games. Now, if you listen to me over the years and you listen to the Doug Stewart Show, I am just not a fan. I am not a fan of Rex Ryan. I think he's a blowhard. I think he's a good coordinator. I think he's a good defensive coach, but I don't think he's a good head coach. For me personally, it'd be hard for me to respect Rex Ryan because of all of the crazy, outlandish things that he does. Just not very coachly, in my opinion. But it seems like players love playing for him. He's a player's coach, and they love playing for Rex Ryan. So Buffalo feels like they've got their guy. Buffalo went 9-7 last year, one of the best defenses in the league. They had a couple of Pro Bowl players on the defensive side of the ball. Marcel Darius, former Alabama Crimson Tide, defensive tackle. He made it to the Pro Bowl. Kyle Williams, defensive tackle, made it to the Pro Bowl. Mario Williams. So their defensive line is just stacked. And that's what Rex Ryan does, is that's his specialty, is defense. So you can think, or you can believe, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show, that defense is probably going to be even better this year under Rex Ryan. We'll see how that plays out. Couple of questions concerning the Buffalo Bills is the quarterback position. They've got in Matt Castle. They brought in Matt Castle. They also have Tyrod Taylor, who's been in the NFL for a couple of years, had some success, stuck on with some teams, but never really given the opportunity to win the quarterback position. And then you still got E.J. Manuel, who they used a first-round draft pick on a couple of years ago, the Florida State quarterback, who really has not lived up to the billing and to the place where he was picked at in the draft. Right now, it's looking like it's going to be Tyrod Taylor, and I like that. I'd love to see him get an opportunity, man. You know what Matt Castle can give you. Matt Castle can't give you a lot. Outside of that 1 year where he had a miracle season when Tom Brady got hurt in New England, Matt Castle's a backup quarterback. He wasn't that good in Kansas City, and they spent a grip to bring him in there as their quarterback. He was okay. He was average, just like I was talking about earlier. He's one of those average quarterbacks at best. So I'd like to see Tyrod Taylor get his shot, man. Former Virginia Tech quarterback. Rex does not have an issue of playing that style of quarterback with his team, and so we'll see how that quarterback race bears itself out. Couple of other questions talking about the Buffalo Bills. We already talked about the quarterback position. We talked a little bit about Rex Ryan. Another question people are talking about out there is, can Percy Harvin turn his career around? Outside of what he did in the Super Bowl for the Seattle Seahawks, has really gone down with the Minnesota Vikings. His production has gone down. Problems with character in the locker room, a lot of people will tell you as well. He's now a New York Jet. They got a nice core of wide receivers and playmakers on that team. They bring in LaShawn McCoy from the Philadelphia Eagles as their starting running back. They also drafted Sammy Watkins last year. This will be his second year in the NFL with the team. So Sammy Watkins and Percy Harvin on the outside, and then you got LaShawn McCoy at the backfield position, at the running back position. That right there is some talent for your ass. And so we'll see how they implement those guys in their systems. And can the defense even take a bigger step? Top 5 defense, can it be like the number 1 defense? I mean, they got the talent on the defensive side of the ball. Once again, you add Rex Ryan into the mix. That makes for a very good defense. So we'll see if the Buffalo Bills can make a run. I think the Bills might be a sleeper in that AFC East division. You talk about the teams. Obviously, every single year it's all about the New England Patriots. Maybe the Patriots take a step back. The Dolphins are getting better. The Jets, they bring in a new coach in Bowen. What does he do? They might take a step backwards because of just getting familiar with the coaching staff and the new players on that squad as well. Maybe this is the year that the Buffalo Bills get back into the postseason, man, and make some noise. They were a team that was there every single year for many years. You know about the 4 Super Bowl trips where they lost all 4. The heyday of the Buffalo Bills, Jim Kelly and Thurman Thomas and those guys, man, Talley on the defensive side, Bruce Smith. Maybe they can get back to their winning ways and make a run for the playoffs. So there you have it, the Buffalo Bills on the Doug Stewart Show. Fear the Bills. They don't got a quarterback, though. They don't have a proven quarterback. That's going to be their downfall. Can they find a mix of playing these quarterbacks and win some games and score some points on offense? All right, when we get back from the break, damn it, the show is here almost. When we get back, all I'm going to do is read your chat. And I didn't get a chance to talk about Serena today. maybe I'll briefly do that. I'll talk about the Serena Williams story from the New York Times, and we'll read some chat, and we'll wrap up today's show, all right? Big day on Stewart Media and Entertainment. We broadcast our first new show, 2 p.m., the Kicking It with Kesey show. Don't go away. This is the Doug Stewart Show. First of all, thank you for listening to the Doug Stewart Show. Now, if you've been listening for a while, you know that we've grown exponentially over the first couple of months. Whether that's listens, whether that's followers, we're blowing up, and you can be a part of it. If you have a company out there and you like to promote on the Doug Stewart Show, we'd love to partner with you. Here's what you do. Email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Once again, that's doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Whether that's locally, regionally, or nationally, we can get the word out. What you're talking about is middle-aged dudes that love sports and love exciting sports talk. Once again, email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. That's doug@thedougstewartshow.com, and we will put you out there, all right? That's doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Let's do some business. Yes!
National Debt Relief is one of the country's largest and most reputable debt settlement companies, made up of energetic individuals who are passionate about helping thousands of Americans with debt relief. Most importantly, we're all about helping our customers through a tough financial time in their lives with education and individual customer service. We're dedicated to helping individuals and families rid their lives of burdensome debt. Specializing in debt settlement, and they've also negotiated settlements for thousands of creditor and collection accounts. Providing clients with both expertise and proven results, this means helping customers in time of hardship to get out of debt with the least possible cost. It can also mean conducting financial consultations, educating the customer, and recommending the appropriate solution. Core services offer debt settlement as an alternative. I repeat, alternative to bankruptcy, credit counseling, and debt consolidation. National Debt Relief is your #1 advocate group to help you reestablish financial stability as quickly as possible. So give us a call at 844-828-4975. Again, that's 844-828-4975, and work it out.
At Ticket Liquidator, we believe you should have access to the experiences you want to be a part of. Since 2003, Ticket Liquidator has been connecting buyers and sellers with the most sought-after and often sold-out events across the country. Ticket Liquidator's nationwide network gives you access to one of the largest online inventories of sports, theater, and concert tickets, with prices lower than most companies in other markets. And our security policies are solid, so you can buy with absolute confidence. More tickets, better service, and lower prices, so you can witness the best entertainment, culture, and sports events worldwide. At Ticket Liquidator, we know that seeing a legend bring down the house or watching your team win the championship is about more than a ticket. It's about being there. For all your sports and entertainment ticket needs, call us at 855-638-3034. Again, that's 855-638-3034.
Welcome back to the Doug Stewart Show. Wild Out Wednesday. Thank you so much for tuning in. I really do appreciate it, man. Thank you. Pass the word. Tell people about the Doug Stewart Show. Do me a favor, man, and just tell one person. Give one person the gift of the Doug Stewart Show and the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network. I mean, they'll thank you for it. We're doing big-ass things around here, man. So, thank you. You still got a couple of minutes to get your call in. If you like, the number to the show is 404-382-0338. You can also email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. And I actually heard this story this morning from Big Brother Ryan Cameron. I listened to the Ryan Cameron morning show this morning when I was taking my daughter to school. But Ryan was talking about this story by Claudia Rankin, the meaning of Serena Williams, and it's on tennis and black excellence. And in effect, what the story is talking about, Serena's trials and tribulation in tennis, and, you know, what a young black woman faces in that culture and in that tennis world. And you can only imagine, you know, she always gets a lot of hate, and people always talk about, you know, on the sly, you know, out the side of their neck, talking about she looks like a man and she's got these manly features, this, that, and the other. And so the story's talking about all the things she's been to and people calling her out of her name, the N-word, and this, that, and the other. And there's one particular part of the story that really, really jumps out at you and makes you really think. I'm pulling this directly from the story. It says 3 years ago, she partnered with French tennis coach Patrick Motogoulou. I believe that's the way you pronounce his word, and if that's not it, I apologize. And I've wondered if his coaching has been an antidote to negotiating American racism, a dynamic that informed the coaching of her father, Richard Williams. He didn't want his presence to prevent her and Venus from winning. In his autobiography, Black and White, this is Richard's autobiography, The Way I See It, he describes toughening the girl's skin by bringing busloads of kids from local schools in Compton. Don't forget, they're from Compton, California, you know, NWA land, to surround the courts while Venus and Serena practiced. I had the kids call them every curse word in the English language, including N-word, he writes. I paid them to do it and told them to do their worst. His focus on racism meant that the sisters were engaged in two battles on and off the court. That level of vigilance, I know from my own life, can drain you. It's easier to shut up and pretend it's not happening as the bitterness and stress build up. I don't think we have an official ball award. I think we need to come up with something. We do the Ball Peanuts Award on Friday for the Bust of the Week. For that comment alone, from that excerpt from his book, Black and White, The Way I See It, Richard Williams deserves a Ball Award. And I don't think we give enough credit. I don't think we give enough credit to what Richard Williams did, and coming from the circumstances and the background that they come from that environment, to do what these girls have done. At this point, I am very confident in saying Serena Williams might be not just the best athlete and winner in women's tennis, but in sports of all times, okay? 21 Grand Slams, I think it is, titles, 2 Serena Slams, about to win the Grand Slam, or I think she's already completed the Grand Slam. Incredible. Absolutely incredible, looking at where they came from, the money that they've made, the success that they've had in tennis. Let's be honest about it, which is a lily, and I mean lily, and I'm not saying this in a disparaging manner. It's just true. A lily white sport, country club sport. For these girls to come from their background and all of the heckling that they have to endure to be as successful as they have, and their daddy to take the strong stances that he has with the media and protecting his girls, it's an American success story, man. It is. Truly. You talk about these movies being written about these stars and their upbringing and NWA and the story of NWA. Can you imagine the details and the things that we don't even know about in the upbringing and how Richard Williams trained these girls and prepared them for what they would have to endure in tennis? Can you imagine that movie? Oh, my gosh. I'd buy a ticket. I would buy a ticket, man. Praise God for Richard Williams and the Williams sisters. Praise God. Breaking down barriers. Wow. Absolutely incredible. Tremendous story. This is the Doug Stewart Show. 404-382-0338 is the number to the show. You still got a couple minutes to get in if you like. Real eventful day on the show, talking about Steve Sarkisian, Michael Vick getting back into an NFL uniform, all of those things that we hit today. The Williams sisters, and we talked about the Buffalo Bills on the Doug Stewart Show. Yeah, thank you so much for tuning in. I really do appreciate it. Once again, I want to remind you one more time before we get out of here today. 2 p.m. today, we are going to air our first live new show. Well, it's actually on the Doug Stewart Show on the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network. The Kicking It with Kesey show coming on at 2 p.m. today. So make sure you follow the Doug Stewart Show and Stewart Media and Entertainment. Make sure you follow us, and so you'll get that alert at 2 p.m. today. And check out my boy Kesey with the Kicking It with Kesey show, all right? My wife bought me, I mentioned it earlier, my wife bought me a watch for our anniversary, and it's very nice. It's super nice, but the bad part about it is I'm a typical guy, and I didn't get her a present. My wife is a present type person. I told her I was going to take her out, but I felt bad. You know, you feel real bad when somebody gives you a gift and you don't have one to give back to them. My gift is taking her out this weekend to a nice dinner. You know, maybe we'll go out and have some drinks somewhere at a lounge or something like that, do some dancing or something like that. We ain't too old to dance, you know. But I didn't get her anything, man. And she says, no problem. She knows I'm not that, you know, that type of mushy type of guy. So I didn't get her a physical present. She got me one. But happy birthday. I know she's listening right now. Not. But if she hears, goes back and listens to this show, she'll know that I said happy anniversary and that I love you very much.
Wait. Did you say you didn't go get her a present?
Nah,
I'm sure you didn't say that.
No, I didn't. I didn't get her a present, Tree.
The hell?
Shut up, studio audience. Her present is going to be me taking her out this weekend. That's her
This
present.
weekend?
Yes.
Wow.
And another present I got her is me. I'm still here.
Ronda Rousey, I got a ninja for your ass.
Nah, Ronda Rousey don't want none of
That
me.
needs a good ass whooping today.
She can wrestle, but I can wrestle too. I grew up wrestling.
Call me.
Whatever.
Call Tree.
I punch Ronda Rousey in her kidney. She gonna throw up for days. She don't want none of this. She don't want none of this, Tree. Yeah. So there it is. Hey, man, thank you so much for tuning in today to the Doug Stewart Show. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. This is how we do it Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. right here on the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network, the Doug Stewart Show. Once again, check out the Kicking It with Kesey show at 2 p.m. today on SME. All right? Thank you to Tree doing all that you do. Thank you, Tree. One of the best producers in the world. Without no Tree, there would be no me. That rhymed. Shouts out to Waterhead Walter, Dwayne Vassan, and Gerald Oliveri, my engineers, man. They are doing some big things with Stewart Media and Entertainment. Thank you, guys. Thank you. And a special shout out and ball award to all of the Stewies. Thank you. I nub new. Maybe tomorrow, probably before the end of the week, a huge announcement on the Doug Stewart Show. I mean, we got huge announcements every other day. But in the next couple of days, a huge, and I mean a big-ass announcement. Right here on the Doug Stewart Show. All right, so stay tuned for that. We'll do it again tomorrow. Same Doug Stewart time, same Doug Stewart channel. Peace.